is a picture of a weathered rowboat that I found on Pixabay, and I like the kind of scrubby grass and the just weathered look of it. So I've drawn it out here, and I'm going to begin with a little bit of masking the key lines of the boat, and then maybe some of the areas that are, we really actually do want to be white, like in here and maybe up through here. So I'm going to start by lightening the drawing and masking. So to lighten the drawing, I'm using the cotton ball and alcohol. And I'm going to start masking. So just kind of the outline of the boat. And some areas that I think would look nice, kind of white. I'm actually going to do the bottom of the boat here. And I'll let that dry. The inks I've chosen to do the background are kind of part of the picture. So we have cloudy blue, pebble, butterscotch, sepia, and terracotta. And obviously they're part of the picture. But what I meant was they're kind of part of the subject as well as the background. I'm going to start inking from the sky down. This is some alcohol. And I usually use that with the cloudy blue just to give it something to run through. So this is the butterscotch. And I'll let it dry vertically. So this is our super inky background, and it's quite different than the picture, but it might be kind of cool. So I'm going to take off the masking fluid and see what it all looks like. Start by just kind of pulling off this ink and maybe spreading it through the shadow part here. The stain is fine because we really just need a kind of a stain color through here. I'm going to lift where the wood seats are in the boat. I think what I'll do is just paint on top of the color that's still here. So I'm going to start with some eggplant that I'll probably lift back off for the shadow side of the boat. And I'll put some of this eggplant under some of the darker spots here. Next I have the terracotta. And it's looking not very bright. So I might have to upgrade it to Valencia. This is alcohol in the cotton swab. I'm going to lift and blend our shadow here. This is a crimson color. And this is a gray. And I'm kind of wishing I put the seat in the right place. I think I'll just move it. boat is sitting in some grasses, and while I didn't mind everything being very vague back here, we need something for the boat to sit in. So we're gonna have to put in a texture for that. This is some teak wood, and I'm gonna put it on this cotton ball. And just kind of dab in. And take a makeup sponge and some alcohol and see if I can kind of scrape through it enough to create some textures. And kind of shade through the bottom of the boat here. And this is the cotton swab and alcohol. I'm just going to kind of soften and blend this part. This is a pale brown marker, and I think I will put back in this seat. And then this one comes to the top of this one. It's really just kind of exactly ahead of where I had it before. So we need the boat to be really sitting in the scrub. So we need to get some darker values through here again. And I'm gonna try a kind of a gold marker and see if I can add some scrub through here. These lines are very fat, so not really the fineness that I was hoping for. This is the pointy swab. So I'm taking another pass with the makeup sponge here. See if I can make these lines a little finer. I think we're getting there. I wanted to add in the rib lines, and I've selected a kind of a lavender pale marker. Thinking I should add more scrub through the rest of the painting. So I'm going to do that. Again, this is just alcohol. About going all the way to that hill line. I think so. This is a sepia pen. I'm going to use it to kind of sketch in a few lines here. And I need to pull, got this diagonal coming right up with the boat. So I need to kind of break that up a little bit. I finished the details. I'd like to add a tiny bit of splattering, and hopefully it will be tiny. That's tiny, that's good. And I'll add a little more color. This is Valencia. I'm not sure whether I want to add the chain. I think maybe just the ring for the chain will be enough. And we've got some lifting to do. Put a light on this back edge here. And I'd like to add just a few grasses coming up over this. I'd like a very fine grass though. So maybe finer than this one. I'd like to find a marker that was super fine. That's just too like the Goldilocks of markers here. It was the darkest, but it's a couple things I'd like to do. I need to darken this wood back here. And add a little more color to this piece of wood here as well. I think I'd like to thin this piece of wood. I'll do that by just adding a little more orange underneath it. And a little highlight there. I think I'll stop here and see how I feel about it, but hopefully we're good.